Hello everybody. Our lesson today is to find the volume of a cone. This is very similar to finding volume of a cylinder like we did last time. Again, we're going to give you a formula that you can use. All you got to do is plug in what you know, the information that you're given, to be able to find the volume. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Once again, I would recommend that you write this formula down, because on the quiz you'll be able to have it right there handy for you. There's really kind of two formulas again. This is the main one that I would want you to write down. Okay, so if you remember, a cone looks like this. It's like an ice cream cone, right? It's got a circular base, right? The circular base. The middle point to the outside of the circle is the radius, and then the height is the point from the middle point of the circle all the way to the very top tip of the cone. Okay, the vertex there. Okay, so the volume of a cone with radius r is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base, if you remember, the base is a circle, the area of a base is just pi r squared. Okay, then you take that times the height, and then you got to multiply it times 1/3. Okay, so go ahead and write that down so that you have it handy for the rest of these examples. Okay. All right. So example 1, we want to find the volume of each cone. Round your answers to the nearest tenth. So again, it says to round it to the nearest tenth here. Okay, and we're going to use 3.14 for pi. So again, remember, if it says use 3.14 for pi, you actually want to use 3.14. Don't type in the pi symbol, because that's going to get you a slightly different answer than if you're using 3.14 for pi. Okay, so now, analyzing this cone here, it gives us a couple of key pieces of information. It gives us the radius right here, that's halfway across the circle, and it gives us the height, that's the point from this point to the very tip top. Okay, so we're going to plug in what we know. Volume equals, we'll do 1/3 times pi. Remember, we're going to use 3.14 for pi. Then we're going to do r squared. R is 2, that's our radius, so we're going to do 2 squared, and then times h. Our height is 8, so we're going to do times 8. Okay, now we need to open up Chrome so that we can go to our calculator. So we're going to go to desmos.com/scientific, and we're just going to plug in what we know here, right? So we are going to do, we need, let's see, 1/3. So 1/3 times 3.14 times 2 squared, and then times that times 8. And we can see, once we do that, I don't know why we have two parentheses here. There we go. Once we do that, we get 33.49. And it does say round your answers to the nearest tenth. So the volume here is equal to, and what was 33.49? 33.49. Okay, now this 9, remember we want to round to the nearest tenth, which is this spot right here. So this 9 makes that 4 round up. So it's got to be 33.5. And now we got to think about what units we're going to do. Here we've got inches. So this is inches, and since it's volume, it's inches cubed. Okay, so it's just a matter of taking what you have and plugging it into your formula. Okay, next example. Okay, we've got our next cone. Now, again, there's a difference between this cone and the last cone. That difference, maybe you can see it. If you look at this, it's got a diameter. We don't want a diameter to plug into the formula. We want the radius. So to find the radius, we take 8, the diameter, and divide it by 2, which gives us a radius of 4. Okay, so now we're going to plug this in. So volume equals 1/3 times pi, 3.14, times the radius squared. Our radius we said is 4, so it's going to be times 4 squared. and then times h. Our h is our height, which is 9. And now it's just a matter of plugging it into our calculator. So we're going to go back to our calculator. And really, if you still have this up from the last example, all you got to do is change a couple of things. What changed? Okay, the 1/3 stayed the same, so that can stay as it is. The 3.14 stayed the same. Our radius changed. So, oops. We're going to change that to 4 squared. And then our height changed to 9. And you can see we get our answer here of 150.72. This is what we want to round it to. We look to the next number, which is the 2. That 2, it rounds it, keeps it as 7. Okay, remember it's got to be 5 or above to round it up. So the 2 is below 5, so it keeps it as 7. So it's 150.7. So the volume equals 150.7. And then our units are going to be cubic feet. So feet cubed, like so. Okay. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and try these two on your own. Pause the video and work these out on your own piece of paper. See if you can plug them into the volume formula and solve them on your own. And then I'll help you out with them here in just a second. So go ahead and pause it and see how you do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this formula over. So volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. I like to have it handy there just so that we can remember it. Okay, now this first one, number 4, I'm going to plug in what we know. So 1/3, it does say use 3.14 for pi, so 1/3 times 3.14 times the radius squared. What's our radius in this one? Well, you might think 15, but no, 15 is the diameter. We got to take this and divide it by 2 to get the radius. Okay, the radius is only halfway across. The 15 is all the way across. So that means our radius is going to be 7.5. And then that's squared, and then times the height, which is 16. Okay, now it's just a matter of plugging it into our calculator. Okay, we're just going to change this 4 to a 7.5, and we're going to change the 9 to 16. And we get an answer of 942. So that's going to be 942, and our label is going to be centimeters cubed. Okay, next one, number 5. This one's nice. It gives us the radius for us, so we just got to plug it in. So 3.14 times, oops, sorry, I forgot to do 1/3 first, times 3.14 times the radius squared, so 2 squared, times the height. Our height is 3, and now we plug this in. So we're going to come back to our calculator, delete the 7.5 from last time, make it a 2, delete the 16 from last time, and make it a 3. And we get 12.56, and it does say round to the nearest tenth. This is the 10th. Our 6 then rounds that up to 6, so it's going to be 12.6, and that's cubic feet. Okay? All right, and that's it for today. We're going to skip the rest of this stuff. You can go ahead and get started on your assignment. It's the 13.2 homework on your HRW. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Let me know. I'm happy to help. All right, have a good day and a good weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.